What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Yeah, buddy.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am excited because we are going to hit squat variations today. What I mean by that is that there is more than just a back squat when it comes to squatting. We're not going to hit on your air squat and your goblet squat. We're going to work on those heavy compound movements. We are going to hit, yes, the back squat in the end. We're going to hit a front squat, and we're going to also start with the Zercher squat. So each of these lifts we're going to perform progressively. So the Zercher squat, you'll probably be able to squat less weight than you will the front squat. The front squat, you'll be able to squat more than the Zercher and less than the back squat. And then the back squat will be your heaviest lift. So we're going to build up that way. I'm going to talk about a couple of different things that you can use during these lifts. So I'm excited to get into that with you guys today. A little bit different video. I'm taking the Hype Reloaded from Blackstone Labs. I did just do boot camp a little while ago, so I do feel very energetic and caffeinated. So with that, I took the Dust Reloaded, but for this, I'm just taking the Hype Reloaded so then I can get those big pumps, and the Zercher squat is a perfect way to get pumps, and I'm going to explain that while we hit it. So let's go. You'll notice the setup for the Zercher squat is different than you'd see for a back squat or a front squat, being in that it is low. It's about hip level. So with the Zercher squat, you have to put the bar in your elbows, and I'm going to show you in a minute. But you want to get the bar into your elbows, so you are flexing your bicep, hence the pumps I mentioned earlier. So you're flexing your biceps, you're flexing your back, and you're going to get a nice deep squat and come back up. So the bar needs to be obviously a lot lower to get into your elbows. So let's get into it. So I'm going to get a little bit of a squat in. Make sure I'm in the crease of my elbow. This lift is uncomfortable. Stand it up, walk it back just like you would any other squat, and then you're going to squat down till you hit your knees, or my elbows actually go in between my thighs, and come back up. So with this, I have my hands. Some people like to point their hands up. Some people cross them. I like to just kind of hold them, and the whole time you want to be driving those elbows up. So this lift is going to obviously engage your biceps because you're squeezing, you're gritting down, and you're driving up. Because of the stabilization needed, I'm out of breath, the stabilization that you need so you don't dip all the way forward where the bar is, you're engaging your back. Your lats are involved, your upper back's involved, everything. Your core's involved, your glutes are involved, and your quads are involved. One thing that I love about this is you'll feel your inner thighs a lot on this lift. What you're gonna notice from this angle is you're gonna actually see my back flex and engage. So I'm gonna get into it. All right, get those elbows in place. Some people put like a towel or something, just so they have a little bit of padding, but we're not going super heavy with this today, so I should be comfortable enough. So you're gonna see my back flex. My quads are already flexed and I haven't even squatted yet. Squat down and back up. There it is. One more. You definitely feel, you can actually see, I'm like red already and I've only done 2 sets, but you actually feel the bar sitting in your elbows. Like I said, it's not the most comfortable of lifts, but it's kind of like, I don't want to say a one size fits all, but it's like if you want to target a full body workout, this is a lift that you could put in because of all the different body parts it's targeting. It's a very good lift, and I think it is highly underrated. Definitely give this one a shot. So I'm gonna adjust the bar height, and we're gonna get into some front squat variations. We're moving on to the front squat now. So I'm gonna show 2 different hand placement variations, only because some people, especially when I program them for my clients, this clean grip positioning is great, and I think it is the most, you have the most control over the lift, but it does wreak havoc on the wrists. So because of this position, you're stretching this entire area on your forearms and wrists, so it is taxing. So when somebody has an issue, I'm going to show you the first variation. You may not be able to go as heavy, but it's an option. Every time you want that bar, press up against your neck as much as possible. One more. So with this, I feel like the bar rolls a little bit, but I'm going to show you the other variation right now. Just kind of jump right in. So with this is going to be the clean grip. So the bar's up against my neck. My hands are able to keep it pushed against my neck. Yes, I feel like I'm being choked a little bit, but the bar is over my center of gravity, and we're down and up. You don't have to have your entire hand out, like my pinkies kind of fall out. But it's a great squat variation. Let's walk it in. Whew. With this, front squats tend to be more quad dominant, and I'm gonna show you, if you're working like a heavy quad day, I'm gonna show you a variation that's gonna make this a little bit more quad intensive with a wedge. So let me grab that and I'll be right back. I have placed my wedge. So with this, my heels are gonna go on the wedge. Same foot placement as far as like being underneath my hips. We're lifting heavy here. So your heels are back elevated and you're going to squat down and come back up. I find that you squat a little bit lower with the wedge. I think it's just the shifting of your weight. But we're gonna add the bar now. Whew, here we go. All right, so I am comfortably set on the wedge, feet outside my hips, squat down and back up. Whew. 3. I can actually see my quads flexing in the mirror. So that is probably my favorite variation of the front squat, just because now I've been doing a lot of isolation work. So adding the wedge definitely raises this a notch. If you do add the wedge and you find like you want to go heavier for the day and you get nervous about the wedge, you can always pull it. You can add it in the beginning, make it a little bit more challenging with the lighter weight, and then pull it, and then really go balls to the wall with the weight. So that is all I have for you with front squats. We're gonna go into 2 different variations of back squats. We're gonna get into 2 different back squat variations like I mentioned before. You're gonna have a high bar back squat, which I've been doing a little bit more recently, and then you have a low bar back squat, which is something that in my strongman days I did a lot more of, because it really hits that posterior chain, the glutes, your hamstrings. It's really good if you're looking to lift really heavy, and typically people can lift more weight with a low bar back squat. First thing I'm going to show you is the high bar. So the bar is going to sit right up on your traps, not on your neck. Some people do put it on their neck and it hurts. So you want to get your back together, squeeze your back muscles, put it on that meaty part, and walk it back. So feet stands for all these lifts really hasn't changed. So with this, I'm just gonna squat down and back up. So this is the most common, probably the most popular version of a back squat, but it's probably the most common version of all squats. Oh, I'm probably gonna get people talking in the comments, but in all seriousness, most people have seen a back squat once or twice before, even if you're not familiar with lifting. It's very common. Most people will put it up nice and high. So now I'm gonna show you the low bar back squat. So this is my favorite variation of the back squat, just because, let's be honest, you guys know I like to lift heavy, and you're gonna lift the most weight with this particular variation. So you're gonna put this bar a little bit lower on your back. So you can see my high bar back squat is gonna be up here. My low bar back squat is gonna be down here. Sometimes I even have to lower the bar to get it off the rack, but I feel pretty good right here. So you can see I'm actually leaning forward a little bit. Elbows are kind of driving forward to keep the bar pressed up against my back. I'm gonna squat down and come back up. So I feel this more in my glutes and my hamstrings. You're still getting that full range of motion from the squat, but you'll feel the difference in the actual lift. The bar feels so light in this position. So I'm gonna show you both lifts one more time just so you can really see the difference, and I'm gonna really accentuate the bar positioning. I'm gonna do 3 or 4 reps at the high bar, bring it back into the rack, watch very closely at the positioning where the bar moves to when I go right into that low bar back squat. You'll see a significant difference going at it back to back. So high bar is here. Hit 3 or 4 reps here. I'm obviously standing up a lot straighter on this lift. I'm gonna bring it back in and then watch very closely as my positioning changes. Even to get it up off the rack, I'm leaning forward a little bit. And then you're right back in to your squatting. Feet position stays the same. It really does stay the same with all of these squats. So that is your back squat variation. One thing I didn't mention earlier, and maybe we'll hit it on another video, is with a Zercher squat, if you don't have access to a rack or you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can actually deadlift the bar into your legs, squat down, get your elbows under it, and squat it up. It's a lot more challenging. We're taking it from the rack today, so it didn't really make sense to show you that, but that is another variation of a Zercher squat. But we've hit a couple different variations of each type of squat and 3 different types of squats. So I hope you guys like this video. Put it in the comments below if you want to see more tutorial-like stuff. I do really enjoy doing this because I love putting knowledge out there and teaching people. So make sure you're subscribing to the channel for more from me, and I will see you guys next time.